Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasani Gaur Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopi Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Tulsi Radhe Guru Kananda Bhagwan Ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mayur.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right. Is Sachin Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
Cool. So we'll start Srimad Bhagavatam. हम लोग कैंटो 3 पढ़ रहे हैं, थर्ड बुक एंड अध्याय 14 या चैप्टर 14 उसका श्लोक 31 पढ़ रहे हैं. And this chapter is devoted to Diti's sons. Yeah. So Diti gets 2 sons, and that's what this chapter is about. And just to give a very quick background, as we know, there is a conversation going on between Mahatma Vidur and Maitreya Muni at Ganga Tat. Mahatma Vidur is asking all these questions to Maitreya Muni, and he's responding, right? And then Maitreya Muni speaks about the Varaha Avatar. So the Varaha Avatar is the kind of initial incarnation of Lord Varaha, and that was described by Maitreya Muni, like how the Varaha, Lord Varaha appeared, right? If you remember, how did Lord Varaha appear?
It appeared from the
From
nostrils
the
of
nose of Brahmaji.
Brahmaji, yeah. So from Lord Brahma's nostril, Lord Varaha appeared, and the size was less than a thumb. As soon as he appeared, Usikshan, he established himself in the sky, and then Brahmaji realized that he is none other than Lord Vishnu, and then Brahmaji, along with the Rishi Munis of Janlok and Taplok, because during devastation, those are the 3 loks during the Brahmaji's day, which doesn't get devastated, right? Everything underneath, like out of those 14 loks, gets devastated, right? So Janlok, Taplok, and Satyalok. Satyalok is where Brahmaji lives. So all the Rishi Munis, they did tapasya of Lord, they did stuti of Lord Varaha. Lord Varaha went in under the water, under the ocean, right, where the Prithvi was. Prithvi puri doob gayi thi, and Lord Varaha picks up Prithvi on his mouth, and then he brings it out and places it on the ocean, on the top of the ocean. So that is Lord Varaha, and that's the story which was told by Maitreya Muni to Mahatma Vidur. But then Mahatma Vidur said that he is not very much satisfied just by hearing, how Lord Varaha appeared, and he got the Bhudevi, and we saw this very nice Abhishek of the Bhudevi along with Lord Varaha. Yeah, Bhudevi is Prithvi. And he wanted to hear more. Like what happened? How did Hiranyaksh was killed? Because when Lord Varaha came out of the ocean bringing earth, he fought with Hiranyaksh. And then Mahatma Vidur wanted to hear about that. So in that regard, that's where we are reading. So we are reading about Diti. Diti is wife of, whose wife is Diti?
Kashyap Muni.
Kashyap Muni, yeah. So Kashyap Muni's wife is Diti, who is also happened to be daughter of King Daksh. And also Diti is elder sister of Sati, who is none other than Parvati Mata, who has been married to Lord Shiva. And then in last shlokas, we have been reading about Lord Shiva, like how Lord Shiva comes. So what happens in just very quick background is, so Diti comes to Kashyap Muni and Diti requests to have children. And because all the other wives of Kashyap Muni, like Aditi and everyone else, Aditi is mother of all the Devatas. Yeah, that's Aditi. Now we are reading about Diti. So because everyone else has children, she also requests Kashyap Muni to have children. But the timing is not good. Kashyap Muni is in deep meditation and it's time of the prayers. But Diti insists. And that's what we are reading right now. So, Anilji, Shlok 31st.
Sarviditvat Varyayastam Nirbandham Vikarmani Natva Dishtaya Rahasi Tayato Pavisheshahi. Understanding his wife's purpose, he was obliged to perform the forbidden act, and thus, after offering his obeisances unto worshipable fate, he lay with her in a secluded place. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So this is about Kashyap Muni and Diti. Ajay?
अधोपस्य पृष्ठ सलिलं प्राणनान्यमं वाग्यतः ध्याय यज्ञाजाप विरजं ब्रह्म ज्योतिः सनातनम्. Thereafter, the Brahman took his bath in the water and controlled his speech by practicing trance, meditating on the eternal effulgence, and chanting the holy Gayatri hymns with his mouth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right? So after that, Kashyap Muni, right? The Brahman is none other than Rishi Kashyap. He is also one of the Saptarishi, yeah? Kashyap Rishi, just remember. And then as we see, Dhaya Japa Virajam, so Jap, Dhyan, yeah, Virajam Brahma Jyoti Sanatanam. And he chants the holy mantra. Okay. And so a very interesting thing written by what is the difference between Jap and Kirtan is explained here. So Sohan,
When a Vedic mantra is chanted within the month so that only the chanter can hear, the chanting is called jap. But when such mantras are chanted loudly, it's called kirtan. The Vedic hymn of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare can be chanted both softly to oneself or loudly. Therefore, it is called Maha Mantra or the Great Hymn. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, right? So we have so many mantras, and then here is the Maha Mantra, and it is mentioned that we can chant it like a japa, yeah, or we can chant it like a kirtan, and that's the beauty of this Maha Mantra, yeah. Tarun?
Titistu vriditita tena karma vadhena bharata upasangamyasya viprashri madhomukhya bhashatah. Translation. O son of the Bharata family, Diti, after this, went nearer to her husband, her face lowered because of her faulty action. She spoke as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So that we went to Muni, and then now she is speaking again. Sachin? Sachin? Oh, Mayur?
Nami garbhabham imam brahmanam bhutanam bhutanam manusho vadit rudra patir hi bhutanam yasakarvam amahasam. The beautiful Diti said, "My dear Brahman, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva, the Lord of all living entities, because of the great offense I have committed against him." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Diti is requesting to Kashyap Muni, because as we read in previous shlokas, there was a time when Lord Shiva travels on the bull and all the spirits and ghosts that's an inauspicious time, right? And so Lord Shiva may be angry, and that's what Diti is requesting, to make sure the Lord Shiva doesn't get upset. Yeah. Sachin, you're there?
Sorry guys, there's some issue with my camera and
Oh.
mic. I'm trying to fix it. Sorry for that.
Okay, that's fine. Don't worry. I'll just read. Namo Rudraya Mahate Devaya Ugraya Midhushe Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya Grita Dandaya Manyave. Let me offer my obeisances unto the angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the very ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. Anilji?
Yeah. Sanah prasidatam bhamo bhagavanurv bhagavanurv nugraha vyadesyapyanu kammapyanam strinam deva sati pati. Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. He is also the worshipable Lord of all women. He is the personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by the uncivilized hunters. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So Diti goes to Rishi Kashyap and then she's saying, because the Lord Shiva is my brother-in-law, right? Why is that? Because the husband of sister Sati. Sati is the younger sister of Diti. Yeah. And so he says, Sanah prasidatam. Let him be pleased with us. Yeah. And Strinam Deva Sati Pati. Strinam Deva hai. Like he is also worshipable Lord of all women. Like as we know, all the girls and everyone will pray to Lord Mahadev to get a better spouse, right? So girls and boys both, but he's especially worshipable by the women, right? And he is the personality of all appearances, and so he can show mercy towards women. Yeah. So that's what it is requesting to Kashyap Muni to save her. Ajay?
Maitreya Uvach Swasarga Syashisham Lokya Masha Sasanam Prave Patim Nirvidya Sadhyanimyo Bharyamah Prajapati. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyap thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of the fear, and her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Yeah? So then Maitreya said, and Maitreya is saying this to whom? Whom is Maitreya speaking to? Maitreya Muni?
Vidur Maharaj.
Mahatma Vidur, yeah? Like this whole conversation is between Maitreya Muni and Mahatma Viduri, what we are reading right now. Right? So what happens is Diti comes to Kashyap Muni and asks for the protection. And then Kashyap Muni starts addressing his wife, who is Diti. Yeah, and she wasn't feeling great because of, because Kashyap Muni was in deep meditation and he was offering in evening prayers, and yet she desired the welfare of the children. So let's continue reading. Sachin.
Kashyap uvacha aprayatya datmanaste doshanmo hutir kaduta mannidesha ticharena devanam chati hela nath. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your minds being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my directions, and because of your being apathetic to the demigods, everything was inauspicious. Hare Krishna.
So Kashyap Muni is telling Diti that everything was inauspicious. Tarun?
भविष्यत्यस्tas स्वभाव भद्राव भद्रे जाटराधमो लोकानं सपालास्त्री षष्टिंड मुहुर अक्रंडस्यस्तः यतः. Translation. O haughty one, you will have two contemptuous sons born of your condemned womb. Unlucky women, they will cause constant lamentation to all three worlds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Two contemptuous sons. Do you know who those two sons are of Diti? That's the story we are reading about, right? So one is Hiranyaksh, yeah. The second is Hiranyakashipu, yeah. So Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, and we all know Hiranyakashipu was killed by none other than Lord Narsingh Bhagwan, yeah. And the Hiranyaksh was killed by Lord Varaha. Okay. So what Kashyap Rishi is telling Diti is that because of all this inauspicious time, yeah, there will be two contemptuous sons who will be, they will be causing constant lamentation to all the three worlds. All three worlds, 14 loks, they will be causing all the problems basically. So, Anilji.
Praninam hanyamananam deenanam krita gasam strinam nigrahamya mananam kopiteshu mahatmasu. They will kill poor, fatherless living entities, torture women, and enrage the great souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so they act like demons, right? And even enrage the great souls. Says Kopiteshu Mahatmasu. Yeah. Mayur. Mayur.
Yeah. Tada Visvevara Krudo Bhagva Loka Bhavana Hanisatya Avtaresu Yathadrin Shat Parva Druka. At that time, the Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the well-wisher of all living entities, will descend and kill them, just as Indra smashes the mountains with his thunderbolts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Kashyap Rishi is saying that your two sons, Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, right, will be causing all these problems in the whole world, all three worlds, 14 loks. At that time, Lord of the universe, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will descend and kill them. Yeah. And So read this, Sumam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to descend his oil to kill any strongly built body. He comes down just for the sake of his devotees. Everyone is subject to the miseries offered by material nature, but because the activities of miscreants such as killing innocent people and animals or torturing women are harmful to everyone and therefore a source of pain for the devotees, the Lord comes down, he descends only to give relief to his ardent devotees. The killing of miscreant by the Lord is also the mercy of the Lord towards the miscreant. Although apparently the Lord takes the side of the devotee, since the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his activities of killing miscreants and favorite devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So two important things mentioned. Yeah. Like Lord doesn't have to come down to like kill any demon, right? He can make it happen anyways. But that he still comes down just for the sake of his devotees, right? And he does all these leelas and avatars, so we can all read, and that is the process of bhakti and going back to Godhead. Yeah, so that's one. The other part which is mentioned is even the killing of the miscreant by the Lord is also the mercy of the Lord towards the miscreant. Yeah, so if Lord is killing someone, okay, they also go back to Godhead. So that's another important point. Sachin?
Diti Uvacha Vadam Bhagavata Sakshat Suna Bodhara Bahura Ashase Putro Yam Mayam Ma Kruddha the Brahmana the Prabhu. Diti said, "It is very good that my sons will be magnanimously killed by the arms of the personality of Godhead with his Sudarshan weapon. O my husband, may they never be killed by the wrath of the Brahmana devotees." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what Diti is saying, she is actually happy that her sons will be actually killed by the personality of Godhead. Yeah, Vadam Bhagavata. But she's asking Kashyap Muni, please make sure they are never killed by anyone else, by the wrath of Brahman devotees, because as we read, they will be creating problems for all the devotees as well. It says here, when Diti heard from her husband that the great souls would be angered by the activities of her sons, she was very anxious. She thought that her sons might be killed by the wrath of the Brahmans. Yeah. And so on, if you read those 4 lines.
Diti knew well that the killing of her sons by the Lord would also kill his mercy, and therefore she says that the will and arms of the Lord are magnanimous. If someone is killed by the will of the Lord and is thus fortunate enough to see the arms of the Lord, that is sufficient for his liberation. Such good fortune is not achieved even by the great sages. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So Diti was actually happy that, hey, it's good if Lord is, that's like fortunate, being really fortunate, yeah. And if it's being killed by the Lord, because that is sufficient for his liberation. Yeah. And there is still a difference of the liberation of the people killed by the God and the highest devotees, right? There's some difference in read at some point. But still, irrespective of that, they get the liberation. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Rasiksha Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
करेंगे?
हाँ. न ब्रह्मदंड दग्धस्य न भूतभयदस्य च नारकाशानुग्रहन्ति याम याम योनिमसौ गतः. Translation: a person who is condemned by a Brahmana or is always fearful to other living entities is not favored either by those who are already in hell, or by those in the species in which he is born. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? So the bottom line, what it's saying, if anyone who is condemned by a Brahman, right, and a real Brahman, right, is not favored by anyone. And Kashyap vache krita shokanutapena shadah pratyam varshana bhagavata yurumanache bhave mayyapi chadurat putra sheva cha putranam bhavite kah satam mata Gasiyanti yaddasya shuddham bhagvat shasanam. So, Mayur.
The learned Kashyap said, because of your lamentation, penitence, and proper deliberation, and also because of your unflinching faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and your adoration for Lord Shiva and me, one of the sons, Prahlad, of your son, Hiranyakashipu, will be an approved devotee of the Lord, and his fame will be broadcast equally with that of the Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Kashyap Muni even said further that both of your sons will be killed by the Lord, but also one of your sons will have a son whose name will be Prahlad, and Prahlad will be the approved devotee of the Lord, and his fame will be broadcasted equally with that of the Personality of Godhead. So I think we are going to stop here, pause. Yeah, since we only have 2.5 minutes left. And since this is the week of Lord Balram Jayanti, okay, I think we will see one strotam of Lord Balram in 1 minute, and the next 1 minute we'll also see some stuti. Okay, so let's hear that, and then we'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Okay.
Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Balarama Pranama Namaste Halagraha Namaste Musalayuda Namaste Revati Kanta Namaste Bhakta Vatsala Namaste Balinam Shreshta Namaste Dharani Dhara Pralambhari Namastubhyam Trahi Mam Krishna Purvaja.
Okay, and then we'll see the stuti of Lord Balram. And this is the Kavach Strotam of Lord Balram. Yeah? Kavach gives the protection. It's 5 minutes, but we'll see it today, and then we'll continue with that tomorrow. Yeah.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shri Bhalabhadra Kavacha Stotram Golokadamadipati Pareshvaraha Pareshu Mam Patu Pavitra Kirtanaha